First of all, I would like to thank EBG Network and my upline. My name is Denise, your MC for this evening's webinar. I would like to thank all of you for taking your time to join us today on this Mid-Autumn Festival evening. Wishing all a happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Before we begin, our AV team muted all of you within the Zoom app to allow the session to run smoothly without interruptions. You can still continue to use the chat function within the app throughout the whole webinar. We will have a Q&A session towards the end. You can unmute to ask your question then, or simply type your question in the chat box. Presentation slides and pictures will be displayed during the sharing. If you can't see it clearly, you may zoom in for a clearer view. Welcome to today's insightful session on a topic that's more relevant now than ever. Strengthen our immune system and fight infections. COVID-19 and influenza A cases are on the rise again in Singapore. We're all trying to stay safe. But did you know your best protection doesn't come from a mask or medicine? It comes from your own body's immunity. Today, we are privileged to have Daniel, a passionate advocate for preventive science of nutritional immunology. He will share with us some knowledge on bacteria and virus, how antibiotics and probiotics are often misused, and lastly, how we can train our body to become the best doctor in the world. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Daniel.
Thank you, MC. First of all, I would like to thank VG Network and my upline, and allow me to introduce myself. My name is Daniel. I'm really grateful that I get to share with you all this topic tonight. Strengthen our immune system and fight infections. Bacteria and viruses are everywhere. Silent, invisible invaders that can strike at any time. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we all felt the urgency to protect ourselves and our families, adopting measures like wearing masks and sanitize our hands. But now, as restriction ease and life return to normal, many have relaxed their guard. The truth is, the fight isn't over. While COVID-19 cases may not be in the headline, other invisible threats like the bacteria still pose a risk, and we can't afford to forget the lesson we learned. Global warming. In recent years, with the rapid global warming and the melting of glaciers, ancient bacteria and viruses buried deep beneath the ice are resurfacing, increasing the chances of human infection without us even realizing it. Moreover, cold-blooded animals have begun to adapt to the warmer climate. The bacteria and viruses within their bodies are also adapting and causing the microbes that previously could not infect humans to begin mutating. These mutated bacteria and viruses may become new enemies of humanity, as they previously did not pose or did not exist in the human world. The increasingly hot climate also weakens our overall immune system. Are we ready for the next wave of pandemic? And next, you need to understand what is the difference between the bacteria and viruses. And why can't antibiotics destroy viruses? Let me first explain what bacteria is. The size and structure of bacteria. Bacteria are microscopic, single-cell organisms. The size of bacteria is around 0.1 to 10 microns, consisting of cell wall, cell membrane, and chromosome. It's a type of living organism and possesses the genetic machinery to reproduce by themselves. It's able to split into two cells once every 20 to 30 minutes. Then what about viruses? The size and structure of virus. Virus is much smaller than the bacteria, and the size is around 0.02 to 0.2 microns. And it's made up of protein code and limited amount of genetic material such as DNA and RNA. Unlike bacteria, virus is a non-living thing, and it multiplies by hijacking the host cell to produce the new viruses that can spread the infection. Next, antibiotics destroy bacteria but not viruses. So bacteria, as seen in the image, have cell wall. Antibiotics kill bacteria by destroying the cell wall and preventing them from reproducing. Viruses do not have any cell wall, which is why antibiotics are ineffective against them. So when it comes to antibiotic only being able to kill bacteria, have you ever heard that the misuse of antibiotics can actually lead to the creations of superbugs? You might ask, aren't antibiotics supposed to kill bacteria? How could they create superbugs? That's because antibiotics only kill bacteria that are sensitive to them. However, in our daily life, we often see some parents assume that whenever the child is sick, they should be given antibiotics. But have you ever wondered why children who frequently take antibiotics seems to get sick more often? When we use antibiotics, the 1% of bacteria that aren't killed can actually survive in our body. As they adapt, they develop resistance to the antibiotic and continue to reproduce. And eventually, even the strongest antibiotic can no longer kill them. This is how the misuse of antibiotic leads to the creation of antibiotic-resistant bacteria known as superbugs. And now that we understand antibiotic only works for bacterial infection, they are ineffective against a viral infection because bacteria and viruses have entirely different structure. Hence, it's even more important to strengthen our immune system to fight the life-threatening infection. And we just talked about the dangers of superbugs. Do you know that improper use of antibiotic in the livestock also give rise to the superbugs? Animals are often given antibiotic to prevent illnesses and help them to grow, not just to treat the disease. For example, most dairy cows get antibiotic to treat diabetes, even if they are not sick. This overuse let the antibiotic-resistant bacteria actually grow in the animals, and those bacteria can actually spread to humans through the contaminated animal products. Greenhouse effect, warming. Bacteria grow faster in a warmer temperature. Even a 10 degrees Celsius increase can actually make the common bacteria like E. coli, Klebsiella pneumoniae, Staphylococcus aureus resistant to all these antibiotics. And faster growth will lead to more mutation, which increase the chances of superbugs. Probiotic. Recent research shows that consumption of probiotic after antibiotics may delay the natural restorations of the gut microbiota. And what is more, researchers have found that some probiotics actually used commercially were resistant to several antibiotics such as penicillin G and ampicillin. And there's a chances that this probiotic bacteria can actually transfer the antibiotic resistance to the hostile bacteria in the gut, giving rise to the superbugs. And the emergence of superbugs could make certain disease untreatable, such as the pneumonia, urinary tract infection, wound infection, sepsis, and more. And in the United States alone, 35,000 people actually die each year from the superbugs infection, and 3 million suffer from serious illnesses. Hence, never misuse of antibiotics. Why do some people recover quickly after an infection, while others recover slowly? The key actually lies in the strength of our immune system. Every day, we face countless of bacteria and viruses. The difference is that people with a weaker immunity are more easily infected. It's just like two armies at war. Naturally, the side with the stronger forces will win. This means that when two people face the same virus, like the person in the left picture who has very weak immunity, they are more likely to get infected and become seriously ill. Also, the chances of pathogens mutating inside their body is higher and slower the recovery process. Facing the same virus, if the immune system is stronger, like in the right picture, the person is less likely to be infected, even if infected symptoms are milder. The mutation rates of pathogen inside the body is low and the recovery is faster. In fact, most viruses are contagious during the window period, which is the time frame when the infection is undetectable by current lab methods, but the virus is still present in the blood. For example, the median incubation for hepatitis B is about 90 days. Have you heard some people get infected with hepatitis B infection during the blood transfusion, especially in the past or in the region where blood screening is incomplete or prevalence among the donors is high? Fortunately, the window periods have been greatly shortened to about 20 to 30 days by the advanced testing. Although the pandemic had subsided, scientists say there are still many uncertainty in the medical research on the COVID-19. What is certain, however, is that this pandemic will not be the last major outbreak. Scientists are also keeping an eye on another hidden pandemic, which is the superbugs or antimicrobial resistance. And scientists predict that misuse of antibiotics has caused superbugs to trigger a silent pandemic. And therefore, it's necessary for everyone to understand how to strengthen your immune system in order to fight against all the pathogenic infections. Spread the right knowledge. Everyone can save a life. Over the years, our EVG team has been consistently conducting webinars and creating videos to educate the public on the preventive science and the nutritional immunology. The immune system is the best doctor in the world. As long as we strengthen our immune system, we can fight against the infections and prevent over 90% of the illnesses. Powerful immune army. This powerful immune army is composed of multiple organs, which include the bone marrow, thymus, tonsil, spleen, lymph nodes, and various immune cells. So when necessary, the immune system will produce the required chemicals such as interleukin, interferons, and others that which works together to help the body fight the infections. Powerful immune army, macrophages. So many viruses such as the influenza virus enter our body through the respiratory tract, and when these invaders are detected, macrophages in the upper respiratory tract, they will extend their projections to capture and eliminate them. After engulfing the viruses, macrophages will break it down and present these viral fragments, which are the antigens on their surface. And this antigen presentation actually helps to summon other immune cells to fight, such as the helper T cell, which in turn will stimulate the B cell. Powerful immune army, B cells. Thus, the functions of B cell is to produce antibody to destroy the invaders. Throughout a person's life, the body can produce over 1 billion different types of antibiotics to combat various types of bacteria and viruses. So when the body is infected, B cell will rapidly multiply to form a stronger fighting force. And once the infection is under control, the B cells are called back, while also remembering and storing the characteristics of the enemy, or we call the pathogens. And when the same invaders reappears, B cell can rapidly producing the matching antibody to fight it off, providing the long-lasting immunity. Powerful immune army, natural killer cell. There are some antiviral medications that can help to fight virus, but much of the work relies on our immune system. And one important defender is the natural killer cell, which will attack the virus-infected cell by drilling a hole in them, making it easier for the infected cell to be broken down. After that, the macrophages will come in and engulf the infected cell and the viral particles, helping to clear the infections. And this shows how powerful our immune system is from birth. And do you know how to help it work at its best? It starts with maintaining 4 key healthy habits. The first is sufficient sleep. Sleep is essential to the human life as a food, water, and air. Getting sufficient sleep also allows the body to produce more antibody to fight the infection. Let me share a research study about sleep. Researchers from the University of Lundberg in Germany conducted an experiment on 2 groups of volunteers who had received a hepatitis A vaccine. 4 weeks later, the group that had a full night's sleep had twice as many hepatitis A antibody in their bodies compared to the group that stayed awake all night. And lack of sleep weakened the cell ability to fight off the infection. As I mentioned earlier, natural killer cells play a crucial role in fighting the viruses. Scientists at the Serpasa Medical School in Turkey studied a group of healthy young adults who stayed awake for 48 consecutive hours. Their blood sample showed a significant drop in the natural killer cell. Now, do you understand why sleep is so important? Second, maintaining a stable emotion. will strengthen our immunity and produce the happy hormones we call endorphin to resist the virus's infection. Emotional stress is an invisible killer for many people today, and many juggle multiple roles, balancing family and work, leading to anxiety and invisible pressure. And when we are chronically stressed, our adrenal gland will release the hormone cortisol, which can suppress our immune system and reduce its ability to fight infections. Maintaining an emotional well-being and reducing stress are associated with more balanced immune function, which may support the body's ability to respond to infection. Third, moderate exercise. Moderate exercise can help to reduce the chronic stress and lower the cortisol level, which in excess can actually suppress our immune system. And exercise helps to promote the lymphatic circulation, improve our heart and the lung function, enhance the oxygen supply throughout the body, supporting the overall health and the immune function. Exercise also has been shown to boost the natural cell activity, which play an important role in identifying and destroying the infected or cancerous cell. Maintaining a healthy weight through exercise also support the immune balance, as obesity is linked to chronic inflammation and impaired immunity. 4. Proper, pure, and balanced nutrition. A strong immune system supported by proper nutrition help fight the infections, reduce the illnesses, and minimize the need for medication, and lowering the risk of antibiotic resistance. And nutrition and medication are actually work together to combat the disease and aid in recovery. But without a healthy immune system, even though an effective drugs may fall short. And research shows that a plant-based diet rich in phytochemicals, antioxidants, and polysaccharides is vital for boosting the immune system ability to fight viruses. First, we have phytochemicals. Phytochemicals are compounds that are unique to each fruits and vegetables, and research has shown that phytochemicals possess animals' healing and disease-preventing properties. Cactus has more than 10,000 types of phytochemicals that can boost our immune system quickly and speed up the production of antibody to destroy the viruses. Besides, cactus also help to speed up the wound healing process. American ginseng that can bring oxygen to the body quickly, strengthen the macrophage to fight viruses and prevent the respiratory tract infections. Next, we have antioxidants. Antioxidants are compounds that prevent cell damage through the oxidation. A diet rich in antioxidants such as the cactus fruit, rose, acera cherries, and cranberries help to fight the free radicals and prevent the free radicals from interfering with the DNA and slow down the aging. The younger is our immune army, the stronger the ability to resist viruses. It also promotes the cell repair function, allowing our immune cells to reach the battlefield faster. Polysaccharide. Certain edible mushrooms such as the cordyceps mycelium, maitake mushroom, shiitake mushroom, and the ABM mushroom contain polysaccharides such as beta-glucan that may help modulate the immune system. Since the 1960s, Japanese scientists actually discovered that polysaccharides can actually exacerbate the immune supportive and potential anti-tumor properties, especially in the lab and in the animal studies. And this compound can help to stimulate our immune components such as the interleukin and interferons, enhance the activity of natural killer cell by 49 times, and support the functions of B cell and macrophages in recognizing and responding to the pathogen. Next, we have black goji berries. While red goji berries are commonly consumed, studies suggest that black goji berries may offer even greater nutritional benefits. The total polysaccharide levels in the black goji berries are approximately 3.5 times higher than those in the red goji berries, and their antioxidant content is around 5 times greater. And black goji berries may support our immune functions by modulating B cells and T cells, reducing inflammation and potentially lowering the risk of cytokine storm triggered by an overactive immune response. They may also help to protect our brain cells and reduce the memory impairment and neural inflammation. Last but not least, bacteria and viruses are constantly evolving and capable of causing the serious infection. Misuse of antibiotic and global warming have accelerated the rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, we call it superbugs, and creating a hidden threat to our human health. Since antibiotic cannot fight viruses, and overuse can actually worsen the bacterial resistance, the most effective defense actually lies in strengthening our immune system. A robust immune system boosted by sleep, emotional balance, exercise, and plant-based nutrients such as phytochemical, polysaccharides, and antioxidants from the cactus, American ginseng, mushroom, and black goji berries can actually help to fight the infection, speed up the recovery process, and lower the disease risk, and protect us against the future threats. I would like to end my sharings here and wish everyone a good health, happiness, and a happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for the wonderful sharing. Now that we understand that we can actually keep the bacteria and virus at bay, and it all starts from looking at healthy habits such as sufficient sleep, regular exercise, mental positivity, and a nutrient-rich diet. That is nutritional immunology food for an overall well-being and a stronger immune system. Has anyone benefited from consuming nutritional immunology food? Yes, of course. In our next segment, we will hear from Cindy on how her life was turned upside down with persistent eye swelling, pain, and tearing, and her recovery journey through the power of the knowledge of nutritional immunology. Please welcome Cindy.
Hello everyone, I'm Cindy. Today I want to share my testimony with everyone. One day, I suddenly felt a sharp stinging pain in my eyes, as if something was stuck inside. On my way home, I couldn't stop rubbing them, and by the time I go back, my eyes were red, swollen, and tearing non-stop. As you can see, my eyelids were puffy in the photo. The skin around them was red, itchy, and even starting to peel. I thought it was just a minor irritation and assumed that I would feel better after a good night rest. But I couldn't sleep well that night because my eye was itchy and felt hot. But the next day, things got worse. The swelling became more severe, the pain sharper and constant, and my eye kept staring uncontrollably. It reached a point where I could hardly open my eyes, and my vision became blurry. I knew this wasn't something simple anymore. I went to see a doctor. After examining me, he said it could be a bacterial or viral infection. He assured me that it wasn't rare and prescribed me some medication. The doctor also told me that my eyes wouldn't recover so quickly and it might take about 5 to 7 days to heal. Although I took the medicine as instructed, the pain and discomfort persisted. That's when I remember what I learned from nutritional immunology, that the best doctor in the world is our immune system. Medication can relieve symptoms temporarily, but without a proper nourishment, the problem may return. So I focus on boosting my immune system with nutrition. Every day I consume a combination of cactus, American ginseng, cordyceps mycelium, rose, blueberries, hawthorn, soybean, Physalia husk, and black goji berries. By the third day, you can see my eyes improved dramatically. The swelling subsided, the tearing stopped, and I could finally open my eyes again. And this photo was taken in my office. My eyes has almost fully recovered. They were back to normal, and I no longer had to suffer that pain. I feel so relieved and deeply grateful to have such effective nutritional immunology products that truly supported my recovery. Thank you for listening my sharing.
Congratulations to Cindy for regaining her health through the science of nutritional immunology. So Cindy, where can we find the ingredients you mentioned earlier that you have consumed?
Hi, MC. This food can be found at Elite Global products, including Rhapsody, Rosy Thyme, Soy Green, Immunity, Berry Bee, and Goji Garden. I consume 50 ml of Rhapsody, 50 ml of Rosy Thyme, 2 sachets of Immunity, and a sachet of Soy Green, and a sachet of Berry Bee, and 2 sachets Goji Garden daily. And this food have helped me regain my health. I'm deeply grateful to Dr. Chen for inventing such a nutrition food products that have helped me regain my health. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Based on the earlier presentation by Cindy, we learned that the best doctor in the world is actually our own body immune system. Medicine can only relieve symptoms temporarily, but our immune cells constantly need proper nourishment, and these nutrients, in fact, comes from a nature, plants. Next, I would like to bring your attention to a disclaimer. Elite products are plant-based foods, which are very beneficial for health maintenance. However, Elite does not advocate any form of self-diagnosis or medical treatment. If you have any medical condition, please seek professional medical help. Now we have come to the Q&A segment. I believe that through the sharing just now, you may have a question to ask. You can unmute to ask a question or type in your question in the chat box. We'll try our best to answer all your questions. Please limit to 1 question per person. Okay, let me look at the chat box right now. Oh, the chat box is so active. Okay. Yeah, so just now I think some of the audience here actually got to understand that there are scarier new viruses emerging every now and then. And yes, indeed, our best doctor is already in our body, which is our immune system. And all these ingredients can be found in Elite products. Okay, thank you. Yes, okay, I saw a question here from Jasmine. Okay, having a fever from a cold, will my brain get damaged if I don't take any cold medicine? That's a wonderful question. Can our Q&A team help to answer this question, please?
Hello, MC. My name is Charlie. I will help to answer this question. Now, you were asking, having fever from a cold, will my brain get damaged if I don't take any cold medicine? In fact, I know this is a very concerning question for parents with children. In fact, several mothers I know, right, ask me this question. They mention that whenever their children develop a fever, they tend to give medicine right away to reduce it. Now, let me bring up some slides for your better understanding. Yes, you can see from the slides. Although 90% of colds are caused by viruses, a typical cold will not damage the brain. Only highly dangerous viruses can harm the brain, such as diphtheria, meningitis, whooping cough, and polio. But these diseases are now extremely rare. Now, modern infants are vaccinated at birth, so they are generally immune to these viruses. Let's find out why children are more prone to colds. This is especially true for kids in preschool or kindergarten. If one child gets a cold, it can spread quickly to others. Young children usually lack this hygiene awareness. Okay, while playing, they may touch a friend's saliva or nasal mucus, and then immediately touch their own nose or rub their eyes, allowing viruses to enter the body. Children with weaker immunity are more easily infected. Many viruses, such as the coronavirus, enter the body through the respiratory tract. Why do we get a runny nose when viruses invade? Immune cells in the upper respiratory tract fight and clear these viruses. The upper respiratory tract acts as a first line of defense against infection. Now, runny nose is the body's way of expelling viruses as part of the immune response. If the body lacks water, nasal mucus becomes thicker and also stickier. Now, if mucus isn't expelled, swallowing it will allow stomach acid to destroy the viruses. From the nose down through the respiratory tract, there are tiny hair-like structures called cilia. These cilia act like filters, helping to block viruses. Now, during a cold, many immune cells rush to the upper respiratory tract, which increases ciliary activity. Now, ciliary movement can cause throat irritation, triggering a cough. Now, coughing is not a sign of illness. It is an immune response, helping the body expel viruses that have been destroyed. When our body is infected by a virus, the immune system releases special substances that raise body temperature. The increase in temperature enhances immune system activity, helping the body fight the virus more effectively. It also slows down virus reproduction. This makes it easier for the immune army to destroy the virus. In other words, fever is an immune response that helps body speed up the elimination of viruses. Now, for example, taking cold medicine to stop a runny nose or cough. Cough medicine may suppress ciliary activity, so we don't cough. Fever medicine also lowers body temperature, but they only mask symptoms. They do not cure the virus. In fact, they may interfere with the immune system ability to eliminate the virus, which can prolong recovery. Because the medications prevents the body from producing mucus that traps the viruses. Now, the virus can travel more easily, taking a free highway straight into the lungs. Now, this increases the risk of pneumonia. It may also make the person more prone to frequent illnesses than others. These cold medicines can also have side effects. For example, a common fever reducer, paracetamol, can be dangerous. In the United States, approximately 450 people die each year from liver toxicity caused by this type of medication. In fact, the United States health authorities clearly advise that children under 6 years old should avoid this kind of colds and cough medicines as they can harm the liver. Therefore, medication should be used with great caution. When a child has a cold, here are some important tips to keep in mind. Okay, you can actually dress the child lightly and comfortably, avoiding bundling up as it can raise body temperature. Take cool bath or wipe the body with cold water to reduce fever. Drink plenty of water. This thins nasal mucus, helping the body clear viruses more easily. And you have to ensure sufficient rest, allowing the immune system time to fight, clear, and repair, which also speed up recovery. Eat fruits and vegetables that boost immunity, especially those rich in phytochemicals, antioxidants, and polysaccharides. This will help the child fight viruses effectively. Now, also avoid foods high in omega-6 as too much can trigger inflammation and raise body temperature. So as we have learned, symptoms such as a runny nose, cough, or fevers are signs of a healthy immune system responding to an infection. Now, experts recommend that if a child fever is below 40 degrees Celsius, there is usually no need to give medicine. Allow the child's immune cells to train and strengthen their ability to fight the virus. Now, once the immune system has completed its task and defeated the virus, the fever will naturally subside. So with that, concludes my sharing. I hope this answers your query. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Let's see whether there are any other questions. Okay, I don't see any more questions. So we shall end our Q&A session here. Next, I'd like to share some event news and promotions. Firstly, we have an e-league incentive expedition trip to Jiuzhaigou coming up in May 2026. We'll have our AB team play a short video on it. AB team, please.